Everyone went home. Hannah stayed, and that decision would cost her everything. Not because she had to, because she cared, even when it was slowly breaking her. 9:47 p.m. The corporate office in downtown Birmingham, Alabama was completely empty. The overhead lights flickered softly, the kind of late-night hum every corporate employee knows too well. The break room coffee machine had shut off hours ago. Her coffee was cold, her eyes were heavy. But her hands kept moving, finishing a report submitted under her coworker's name in the company system, not hers. She never logged those extra hours, never mentioned it during quarterly performance reviews, not once, not even to the people who took credit for it. Before she shut down her laptop, she bowed her head quietly at her desk. No one saw it, no one knew. Just her, the empty Alabama office, and a prayer whispered under her breath, small in sound but carrying everything she had left. She wasn't trying to impress management. She genuinely believed that doing right, even when no one was watching, mattered. She just didn't know how much it was about to cost her. Monday morning, 9 a.m. sharp. The email hit every inbox at the same time. Subject: promotion announcements. Q3 performance cycle. Hannah opened it alongside everyone else in her department. 5 names: bold, official, final. She read it once, then again, then a third time, slower, like maybe she had missed something. She hadn't. Her name wasn't there. But Marcus was. The same Marcus who couldn't finalize a client report without her fixing it before submission deadlines. The same Marcus whose errors she had quietly corrected multiple times during the last quarterly review cycle. And quiet, overlooked, invisible Hannah wasn't even mentioned. The open office floor exploded with excitement. Congratulations! Well deserved! Someone pulled balloons from the break room cabinet. Laughter echoed across the workspace. Hannah stood up, walked to each of them, smiled. You deserve it. Then she walked to the restroom, locked the door, and cried quietly, like even her pain had learned to stay professional. She had done everything right, every single thing. And for the first time, she wondered if being a good person was the reason she kept getting overlooked. It started with a laugh, not the kind you ignore, the kind that follows you home. Hannah was walking past the office coffee station when she heard it, 2 coworkers near the break room counter. Honestly, I'm not surprised she didn't make it. Right? Maybe her God forgot to promote her too. More laughter, the kind people use when they don't think you're human enough to hear it. Hannah stopped walking. Her hand tightened around the folder she was carrying. She stood there, just outside their line of sight, completely still. Because what do you say to that? That you wake up early every morning in Alabama just to pray before work? That you've given this company more than you've given yourself? That you've never cut corners? Not once? Even when nobody was checking? She said nothing. She walked back to her desk, sat down, and smiled like nothing had happened. But here's what nobody in that office knew. That smile, it was costing her everything. She tried one more time, and that might have been the biggest mistake she'd made yet. Hannah spent 3 weeks building a proposal, nights, weekends, every spare hour after her 9-to-5 schedule. A full restructuring of the company's client pipeline, data-backed, strategic, designed for growth. She submitted it through the company system on a Tuesday morning. Clean email, professional tone, and a quiet prayer under her breath. No response. No feedback. Not even a received acknowledgement from management. 3 weeks later, she walked into the Monday strategy meeting and felt the air leave her lungs. Derek was presenting her work. Word for word. Slides she had never seen, but content she had written herself. The conference room leaned forward. Her manager nodded. Derek, this is outstanding. The same tone no one had ever used for her. Hannah sat there, still, invisible. Nobody looked at her. Nobody noticed her. And in that moment, a dangerous question formed in her mind. Is God even paying attention? 3 a.m. No sleep, no peace, just silence. Hannah sat on the cold floor of her apartment in Birmingham, Alabama, Bible open, tears falling onto the pages. And then she said it. The thing she had been too afraid to say out loud. God, I've been faithful. I haven't lied. I haven't cheated. I haven't compromised. Not once. I showed up when nobody else did. I gave everything I had. She paused. So why does it feel like you're not showing up for me? The room stayed silent. No answer. No sign. Nothing. Just a woman in Alabama asking the same question thousands of believers across America are too afraid to say out loud. And that silence, it didn't comfort her. It started changing her. Nobody noticed it happening, not even Hannah, and that was the most dangerous part. It didn't start with anger. It didn't start with a decision. It started small. One skipped morning prayer because she was tired after another long day at the office. Then another, because what was the point? The church group text came in. She didn't reply. Her Bible moved from the nightstand to the drawer. She stopped holding the elevator for people at work, stopped helping coworkers meet deadlines, stopped staying late, because staying late in that Alabama office had gotten her absolutely nowhere. Her coworkers actually liked this version of Hannah better. She was easier to ignore, quieter, less convicted. But her closest friend, the one who knew her before the job, before the stress, before the corporate pressure, pulled her aside one afternoon near the office parking lot. Hannah, where did you go? Hannah forced a small smile. I'm fine. She wasn't, and somewhere deep inside, she knew it. She wrote it down. That was the part that scared her the most. Hannah sat at her kitchen table in her Birmingham apartment and opened her diary. 7 words. Maybe God is just done with me. No drama, no breakdown, just a quiet, exhausted woman who had run out of reasons to keep believing things would change. She thought about every unanswered prayer, every ignored email, every missed opportunity. Every morning she chose faith, and all she got back was silence. She closed the diary, turned off the light, and for the first time in her life, Hannah didn't pray. The next morning, she almost didn't leave her apartment. Almost. She stood by the door for a full minute, then forced herself out. The Alabama air was cool that morning, quiet, still. Hannah sat at a bus stop just outside downtown Birmingham, earbuds in, eyes low, completely shut off from everything around her. She wasn't looking for conversation. She wasn't looking for anything. Then an older woman sat beside her, white hair, warm eyes, a small Bible resting gently in her hands. Hannah didn't look up, but the woman spoke anyway. You're carrying something heavy, sweetheart. Silence. The woman didn't move, didn't push, just sat there, calm, patient, like she had nowhere else to be. Then softly, God doesn't forget quiet faithfulness. He just doesn't always show you what he's building right away. The bus arrived. The woman stood up and walked on. Hannah didn't move, because something inside her, something she thought had died, just cracked open again. But what exactly was God building? It happened by accident, a simple mistake. Someone sent an email to the wrong person. Hannah was sitting at her desk during lunch, scrolling through her inbox when the notification popped up. Corporate email, unknown sender. She almost deleted it. Almost. The subject line stopped her cold. Promotion list, final adjustments, executive review. Her heart started beating faster. She clicked it, and everything she believed about her situation started falling apart. Her name was there, at the top. Originally approved, fully recommended, performance rating, exceptional. Then one line, typed casually like it meant nothing. Remove her. I'll handle the reason. No explanation, no signature. 7 words. That was all it took. Hannah sat completely still in her chair. This wasn't failure. Something wasn't right. Someone had interfered, and for the first time, she realized the truth might be bigger than what she could see. She dug deeper. One email became three. Three became a thread. The deeper she looked into the company system, the clearer it became. Dates, notes, edits. Then her eyes stopped. The name on the internal document made her freeze. Sandra, senior manager, 11 years at the firm. The same Sandra who smiled every morning. The same Sandra who asked about her weekends. That Sandra. Hannah kept reading, and with every line, the truth became harder to ignore. False performance notes, quiet internal flags, hidden feedback reports, carefully placed, carefully timed. Sandra hadn't made a mistake. She had made a decision. Not because Hannah was weak, because Hannah was becoming a threat she couldn't control. 7 months. 7 months of confusion, self-doubt, spiritual silence, manufactured, by someone who smiled at her every single morning. Hannah didn't scream. That was what shocked everyone. She walked into the HR office on a quiet Tuesday morning, calm, composed, and placed a printed document on the desk. Every email, every timestamp, every lie. The HR director read it once, then again, slower this time. Sandra was called in within 20 minutes. No shouting, no chaos, just truth. And truth, when given space, doesn't need noise. It speaks for itself. Sandra looked at Hannah, like she was finally seeing her clearly for the first time. Hannah didn't look away. She didn't need to win. The truth already had. 3 days later, her phone rang. Unknown number. She almost ignored it. Almost. This is Daniel Reeves, Executive Director at Crestview Global Solutions. Hannah froze. We came across a proposal, client pipeline restructuring. Strong work, very strong, and it traces back to you. Her heart stopped. Her work, the one that was stolen. Someone had seen it, not just anyone. We want to bring you in as a senior strategy director. 3 levels above what she was denied. 3 levels above what Sandra tried to block. Hannah walked to her window, looked out over the Alabama skyline, and for the first time in months, she smiled. Not out of excitement, but relief. Because God had never been silent. He had been working where she couldn't see. A week later, Hannah walked out of that office for the last time. No announcement, no drama, just peace. When Marcus asked, she simply said, God opened a door. Before she left, she wrote 4 words on a note and placed it on the desk. Stay faithful. It's worth it. Because here's what nobody tells you about closed doors. Sometimes God doesn't close them to hurt you. Sometimes He closes them because He has already seen what's waiting on the other side, and it's bigger than anything you were crying over. Hannah didn't lose. She was redirected. And maybe so are you.